Right now, I am standing on an Andes mountainside in Peru. This area is home to one of South America's greatest empires, the Inca Empire. The Inca Empire had 4 major regions with their capital city, Cusco, in the center.
The first major region was the Collayasu region. This region was the largest and people lived up to 20,000 feet above sea level, which is about the height of 55.5 football fields stacked on top of each other. This region contains one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the famous Machu Picchu. The next region was the Antisuyu region, which consisted of dense forests including the mysterious Amazon. The people from this area were known for attacking the government in Cusco. The Kuntisuyu region was on the Peruvian coastland located on the west of Cusco. The rest of the land north of Cusco was grouped into the Chincasuyu region, which also included deserts, rainforests, and highlands. Cusco means city of clouds and is also high up in the mountains. People who live there have developed bigger lungs to get the most of the little oxygen there is in the air up in the higher altitude.
The Sapa Inca, or emperor, separated the land into 4 regions so he could have better control over his people. Because as you can see, the Inca Empire had many geographical regions and many climates, which made it difficult to unite.
But this made the Inca Empire very unique. The Inca Empire never developed a written language, which is pretty amazing considering the fact that they had to pass everything down orally throughout the enormous empire. I think this also made the Inca people much more connected because of their language. They couldn't just write each other a note or letter. They actually had to talk to each other face to face. One of the popular things to do back then was listen to stories told by old wise men who would tell many legends and myths that were passed down through generations to help them explain the world around them and why things were the way they are. Another popular thing they did was weaving. This wasn't really for pleasure, but the Incas are known to be great weavers who used many bright colors and geometric patterns in their weavings. The woven tapestries that they created were a sign of political power and were used for binding political contracts. The Incas also had wind and percussion instruments that resembled the modern-day flute and guitar.
Shifting more towards their lifestyles, the Incas were a tough group of people.
Children and babies were never cuddled and were ignored, so they would become more independent and stronger.
The Incas, like other American civilizations such as the Aztecs and the Maya, were big believers in sacrifices, and sacrifices were made, including the humankind,
for dead rulers, to please the gods, and even at festivals. Some children who were sacrificed were found in the Andes Mountains and still had skin and clothing intact. Women in the Inca Empire, unlike those of other civilizations such as the Romans or the Greeks, were treated as equals to men. Women could even have a higher position of power over men.
2 foods that were present throughout the Inca Empire were the corn and the potato. These staple crops were very important in celebrations as well as everyday life. In the mountains, the potato would be freeze-dried to make flour. Corn would be used to make bread, and most importantly, chicha, or maize beer. The Inca people are the ones who introduced these to the Spaniards, who then spread it to the rest of the world. Well, I hope you learned something new. I'm off to go eat some popcorn and chicha.